Asterisk, asterisk, the specter of old Barn Hollow, asterisk, asterisk. In the quiet countryside, nestled between rolling fields and thick woods, lay old Barn Hollow, a small farming community. The village was picturesque, with its quaint cottages, blooming gardens, and the old barn that gave the place its name. The barn, once the heart of the village's agricultural life, now stood abandoned and weathered, shrouded in a mystery that few dared to uncover. The legend of Old Barn Hollow told of a ghostly figure that haunted the barn of farmer Aim Samuel, who had lived and worked there many years ago. Samuel was known for his hard-working nature and his deep love for his wife, Margaret. Together they had built a thriving farm and a happy life. One stormy night, a fire broke out in the barn. Despite Samuel's desperate attempts to save his livestock and his beloved barn, the flames consumed everything. In the chaos, Samuel was trapped and perished in the inferno. Margaret, heartbroken by the loss, left the village, never to return. Since that tragic night, the villagers spoke of seeing Samuel's ghost, still tending to his farm, bound by his unfulfilled duty and love for the land. Years later, a young couple named Anna and Mark moved to Old Barn Hollow. They had recently inherited a small cottage on the outskirts of the village and were eager to start a new life away from the city. They had heard the ghost stories, but dismissed them as old superstitions. One evening, as they settled into their new home, Anna noticed a soft, flickering light coming from the direction of the old barn. Curious and undeterred by the tales, she convinced Mark to explore the barn with her. Armed with flashlights, they made their way through the fields. The night air cool and crisp. The barn stood silent and imposing against the moonlit sky. Its wooden walls were scorched and weathered. The roof partially collapsed as they approached. The flickering light grew brighter, casting eerie shadows on the ground. They pushed open the creaky barn door and stepped inside. The interior was a haunting sight: charred beams, broken tools, and remnants of hay scattered across the floor. In the center of the barn they saw a ghostly figure, its form shimmering in the dim light. It was Samuel, his face etched with sorrow and determination. Anna and Mark froze, their flashlights trembling in their hands. Samuel seemed unaware of their presence, focused on an ethereal task. He moved through the barn, miming the actions of tending to his farm, feeding invisible animals, repairing phantom tools, and patting the air where a horse once stood. Gathering her courage, Anna stepped forward. "Samuel," she called softly. The ghost paused, turning to face her, his eyes filled with a deep, endless sadness. "Why do you linger here?" Anna asked gently. Samuel's voice was a whisper, carried on the wind. "This is my home. My work is not finished. I must tend to the farm, keep it alive for Margaret." Mark stepped beside Anna. "Margaret is gone, Samuel. She left after you passed. The farm has been abandoned for years." Samuel's ghost seemed to falter, his figure flickering. "I failed her. I could not save our dream." Anna, feeling a surge of empathy, said, "Your love for Margaret and your dedication to this farm are clear, but you need to find peace. Let us help you." Samuel's eyes softened. "How can I leave this place? My spirit is bound to the memories of what was lost." Mark had an idea. "Maybe we can honor your memory by restoring the barn. We can make it a place where the village can come together again, a symbol of what you and Margaret built." Samuel's form brightened slightly, as if the hope of his legacy living on brought him comfort. "If you do this, perhaps I can find peace." Anna and Mark promised to restore the barn and over the next months they worked tirelessly with the help of the villagers. They repaired the structure, cleared the debris, and turned the barn into a community center. The villagers gathered there for celebrations, market days, and communal meals, breathing new life into the old building. One evening, as Anna and Mark stood outside the newly restored barn, they saw a faint glow in the distance. Samuel's ghost appeared one last time, his face serene and grateful. He raised a hand in a silent farewell, then slowly faded into the night, his spirit finally free. From that day forward, Old Barn Hollow thrived, and the legend of Samuel became a cherished part of its history. The barn stood as a testament to love, dedication, and the enduring spirit of a man who had given everything for his dream.